everyone, in this video we'll be walking through how you can create and add items to product lists to be able to quick add items on orders and quotes. So to get started, I'm on the company screen here in the operations portal, and I'm going to search on the company that I'd like to create product lists for. I'm going to go ahead and click into the details for that company, and then at the top here I'm just going to click over until I get to my product list section right here and click into that. Now this has all of the current product lists that have been created for this company, and you have a couple of ways that you can add new product lists. You can manually add them from the screen here, or you can run an import. For the manual add, you can do the quick add down here where you enter in the product list name. So you can do top products, for instance, here, and then you also have the description, which is optional. So I'll go ahead and hit enter, and you can see my new list has been created and added to my view here, and then I can go from there and add items. For the import, you can put together a CSV file. So we're going to pull up an example of one right here. So for this, we have two new product lists that we'd like to create, and there are going to be a couple of headers here that you want in your sheet. The first one is going to be name, and that is the name of your product list. For this import, we've also included the description header. That is optional, but we've included it right here. And then we have our company code that is going to associate those product lists to that company. So I'm going to go back to the operations portal here, and I am going to run my import. To do that, I'm going to click File and Import. And then I have a couple of options here. I can do create an update. This is if you would have new lists that you're creating along with ones that you're also updating. Maybe you want to change the description. You have them all in that file. You can select this one. For ours, we are creating new lists, so I'm going to select create only. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And I am going to select my CSV file here. And that is going to start the upload process. Now you can see here you're going to get a message letting you know that your import has been queued. It does take a few moments for the job to run, and so we're going to pause the video here, and then I will come back and show you when those new lists have been added. Okay, so our import has finished running, and once it is finished, you will receive an email notification similar to this one on the screen, letting you know that the import's complete and giving you a full import report. So you can see here for the total created, we have 2 for those 2 new product lists that we have added. And so if I go back to my product list view here, I'm just going to refresh my screen, and you can see those 2 lists that we created. Once you have your product lists in, you can start adding items to your list. And again, you have a manual way to do that, or you can mass upload those via import. To add items manually, you can click into your product list details here, and you have this add item section right here where you can start typing in your code for your product and then select it from the drop down, and it is going to add it to your list. For the import, you'll need an ID, so we're going to go back to the product list overview here, and in the columns icon, I'm going to click on that and add my product list ID to the view. So if I scroll over, we have this ID right here, so we're going to copy this 677, and we are going to add it to our CSV file for our import. So I'm just going to type in 677 here, go ahead and copy and put that in my sheet. And then you can see on the sheet here, we have a few different column headers. We have the product code, which is going to have the code for your items. We have the company wish list quantity, so this is going to be the quantity you set for those items. Your company wish list product order, this helps determine the order that those items are displayed. And you can see here for my values, I skipped a few in between. That can be helpful if you need to go back in the future and add additional items. You don't have to renumber everything, you can just plug in the numbers in between. And then our wish list ID that we just copied over from the operations portal. So I'm going to go ahead and save this file, and then if we go back into here, I'm going to click back into my product list, and to import, I'm going to click File, Import, and then I'm going to select the Create an Update here, and then I'll go ahead and select my file and start the import process. Just like when we were creating those product lists initially, the job is going to run again to import those items. So you'll see the same message letting you know that the import has been queued. And then we are going to pause here and come back once those items have been added. Okay, our import is now complete. And again, I have my import report that I've received showing the total number of items created on that product list. And if I go back to my product list here and refresh my view, you can see all of those items have now been added with their quantities and their orders that we had in that sheet. One other thing just to point out while we're on the screen, if you do need to remove items from your product list, all you need to do is highlight one, or you can highlight multiple items depending on what you want to remove, and then you can go to Edit and delete selected rows, and that is going to remove those items from your product list. So now that we have our product list all set here, I'm just going to show real quick what this looks like maybe when you're doing order entry. So we'll just go over to an order here in the portal. I'm just going to refresh my view real quick here. And I am on my items tab of my order, and I have this add items from a list icon. If I click on that, this is going to show all of those lists on my company. And so I'm going to select the board list that we just created. And here you'll see a list of all of those items. And so I have the option of selecting a few items, or you can do the select all to add all of them to this order. So I'm just going to go ahead and click add. And you can see this is a quick way just to add multiple items to your orders or even your quotes as you're working in the operations portal. So it's a quick walkthrough of the product lists. If you have any questions, please let us know. And thank you so much for watching this video.